All right, so you can see the children are very sharp and creative, and there is no excuse for you as parents. You can be the same, and also those of you who are not parents, you can also be creative. There is never any excuse, because my oldest Sanskrit student, as I always say, was 82, and after 4 years, he did very well. So there is no excuse that you can learn this beautiful language. We will first repeat some of the sandhis we did previously. If you remember, the vowel a followed by the vowel a merges into one long a. So yoga followed by anga becomes yoganga. Rama followed by avatara becomes ramavatara. Similarly, Buddha followed by Atma becomes Buddhatma. Very easy to remember. Radha followed by Abha becomes Radhabha. Very difficult to say that one. Vidya, which means knowledge. Alaya, place, becomes Vidyalaya. These are the easy ones. But then you also learned what a followed by e becomes. So for instance, if you have yoga Ishvara, Ishvara means the Lord, yoga plus Ishvara becomes Yogeshvara. I hope you remember that. And yoga plus Uttama, or another word, Purusha plus Uttama, becomes Purushottama. So a and u become o, a and e become e. Very easy to know this because it is quite intuitively logical. And then last time we learned a followed by e. Dharma followed by ekata. Ekata means oneness. Becomes dharmaikata, the oneness of dharma. And if a followed by e becomes a, what do you think a followed by o becomes? Let us see if anyone remembers. Would someone? Yes? Oh, exactly. It is quite intuitive, isn't it? Excellent, thank you. So, for instance, Atma followed by the word ojas. Ojas means energy. It becomes ojah. Atma, ojah. Atmojah. Excellent. Vriksha, which means tree, and oshadhi means a herb. Vrikshaushadhi. So this is where we ended last time, and there are only 2 more vowels that you need to know. Yoga followed by aupamya, for instance, becomes also o. So a followed by o becomes o, yogopamya, and similarly a followed by a also becomes a. So dharma and aishvarya also becomes dharmaishvarya. And don't worry, we will always send you these in a chart as well, so you can practice them. So now you have covered all the main vowel sandhis. Now I'd like to do one consonant sandhi with you. Consonants are letters like ta and pa and ka. And I want to do one consonant sandhi with you so that you begin to understand how that works. All of you know the word Srimad Bhagavat Gita. But Srimad is a hard sound, whereas Bhagavat, the Bha is a soft sound. Srimad and then Bhagavat. Now, in life, my dears, when someone who is very harsh meets someone who is very soft, for instance, let us say, I won't name any names, but if one of you is a very harsh personality and another one of you is a very soft personality, and you want to go on a date together, then you see after one date, it won't be such a problem yet. But after 3 dates, after 5 dates, the harsh personality doesn't go well with the soft personality. One of them has to adjust to the other. That is the same principle in consonant sandhi. Shrimat is a hard sound. The t is hard. Bha is soft. What do you think has to happen so that the hard sound can get along with the soft one? The hard sound has to become soft. So, Shrimat Bhagavat becomes Shrimad Bhagavat. And then also with the last one, Bhagavat is again the hard sound and Gita is a soft sound, Ga. So the hard one has to adjust to the soft one, like in real life. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. And this is done very easily. You just look at the place in your mouth where the hard sound is pronounced. Ta, ta, ta. And then you replace it by a soft sound. Da, da. So, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Very easy to remember this principle. If a hard sound is followed by a soft sound, the hard one has to adjust to the soft one. Yes, like in real life. What do you think happens in real life when you don't adjust? When the hard one doesn't adjust to the soft one, then the problem is there will always be some klesha, some suffering going on, some dukkha, yes, some discontentment. Then the soft one will always complain about the hard one, and the hard one also won't feel comfortable. So please remember, very simple principle of consonant sandhi. We will also send that to you. Now, we left off with me explaining to you the letter U, the long U, and I will just give you a few meanings. One is Rati. Rati means the wife of Kamadeva and therefore means erotic love, maybe. And I believe we covered this last time. We really, you see, sometimes in my mind I covered it, but not in real life. But yes, we covered this one. So does anyone remember another meaning of U? You can unmute yourself. The silence tells me that we didn't cover it, although I'm pretty sure we did. But then we can cover it again.
I think we have covered U.
Yes.
Remover of obstacles, auspiciousness, and all that meaning. U Rati.
The long U we haven't covered. All right, all right. So if we haven't covered the long U, then okay. Then I only did it in my mind. So because you see, I experience all of you as part of my mind, therefore I thought we did it. But here I will show you how the long U is written. I hope you can see this. Those of you who don't know Devanagari.
Yes, it's very visible.
That's good. So you can practice that at home. So then I will explain the meanings of U. Rati is the wife of Kamadeva. Kamadeva is the god of love. Very important god, actually. And I'm always surprised that he is no longer remembered much in modern Hinduism or Buddhism, for that matter, because Buddhism, Hinduism, they have mostly the same deities. Kamadeva is such an important god because he can either make your life wonderful or he can make your life a big mess, depending on whether you have a good relationship with him or not. So he has these 5 arrows are made out of flowers, and then he shoots them at you and he makes you fall in love with someone. And his wife or his spouse, that means his female side, his female energy, is called Rati. And another word for Rati is U, the letter U. So you have to get along very well with Kamadeva and Rati for your life to be very auspicious and to go very smoothly. So maybe once in a while, bring them to mind and honor them with your heart. Then the letter U also means Shanti, peace. It is that which all of us desire and very few of us actually get. Because you see, our samsara, this world we are born into, is made in such a way that from moment to moment, our thoughts, our feelings keep on racing. If you observe very closely, there is never a moment of peace. There's always something going on, either inside you or outside you. It is shocking, actually, isn't it? Every instant, something has to happen. The flow of your thoughts never stops. The flow of your feelings never stops. Your senses keep giving you some new information. Moment to moment, something is happening, and there is never Shanti. How do we get Shanti? Through meditation. By learning how to bring all these experiences together into one flow of total concentration. That is called samadhi. Samadhi. To bring everything together and to hold it in one flow of concentration. And by doing that, Shanti is the result. Then suddenly you realize that all these endless moments of experience can come together in one stream. And you become the Lord of your experiences. You become Shanta, peaceful. Another meaning of U is Madhusudana. Madhusudana is a name of Krishna and refers to a demon called Madhu, who was full of pride, full of the sense that he alone should rule, he alone should dominate over others. And Krishna with his beautiful chakra, removed Madhusudana from that state. That means Krishna removed the pride, and the result was peace. Then, U also refers to the left ear, Vama Karna, the left ear. So if you want to use sort of secret code language, and supposing Mahindra Bhai has bought a beautiful earring for Sangeeta ji, but he only bought one earring for the right ear, which is U, the short U is the right ear. Then if she wants to signalize to him that he should also buy one for the left ear, then she can just say, ooh. Yeah? The letter U also means subtle, sukshma. When something is very subtle, we can use the word U for that. And it is also a designation for the goddess Saraswati. So you see, so many different meanings can be used. There are more meanings, but I will not cover these in such detail. Maybe just one more. It also means Mahavidya, great knowledge. What is knowledge really? Knowledge is a state where we truly understand, not just where we have a lot of information. We can have a lot of information by learning by heart much, but we still don't understand what we are saying. So when I was a child in India, I was asked to learn by heart all the sutras, all the rules of Sanskrit grammar written by Panini. And I think I knew by heart a couple of, maybe 1,000 or so, but still didn't understand them. That is not knowledge. That is just information. Once we understand the rules, that is knowledge. Very important to see the difference. And there is a saying that vidya, knowledge, is the greatest gift of all. It's the greatest wealth of all, because no matter how much we give of it to others, it only increases. Some of you have told me privately that they are greedy, which is fine if one is consciously greedy. But the difference between normal wealth and knowledge is that if you give wealth away, it usually doesn't increase unless you're Bill Gates, which is a great mystery because he has given so much of his wealth away and yet he always got more of it. So sometimes you also get more of it by giving it away, but usually it doesn't happen if you give it away. But knowledge, my dears, is so amazing that the more you give it away, the more it increases. Because then the more other people also have knowledge. Yes? So, U refers to knowledge, and I request all of you to increase your knowledge. Lifelong learning. Always continue. My oldest Sanskrit student was quite an interesting gentleman. He was a very successful entrepreneur or businessman, I would say, in his life. I believe he ran a company. This was a long time ago. I was 20 or so. He ran a company that had 40,000 employees. And when he was in his prime, I believe it was the largest company in Switzerland. It was among the top companies in Switzerland. And he discovered Hinduism, I believe, at the age of 50 or so, 50, 55, maybe like that. He discovered Hinduism and traveled to India, met swamis from Shivananda Ashram, met great yogis and worshippers of the goddess, meditators. So he became a spiritual person and thus slowly developed his affinity towards this tradition of spirituality, and then decided at a very big age, I will learn Sanskrit. How amazing is that? And I used to go to his place every morning at 7 o'clock, and he was, you can imagine being a top manager, having been a top manager, how disciplined he was. So he would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and he would do his sadhana, his spiritual practice. He would meditate on the Shri Yantra, which is a sacred symbol of the goddess. And then at sharp 7 o'clock, I had to be at his place and we would start our Sanskrit. And at sharp 8:15, we would have a break and he would bring some sweets, like a croissant or so with coffee. And it would always be the same one. This was the interesting thing. But it was excellent. So I had just returned from India, and you can imagine we don't have, at that time at least, we didn't have croissants in Kailas Ashram. So I was delighted to have this every morning. And then we would have a 15-minute break, and sharp 8:30, we would continue till 10 o'clock every day for always 5 days of the week. And then we would have a break. So this is how he learned Sanskrit very well. And I fondly remember him as a great inspiration, in fact, of what you can achieve if you have some discipline. All right? So now I have sent all of you a list of vocabulary. And I want to take this very seriously, that you should learn them, all right? No matter what your age is, no excuses. Amar has learned one a day and knows them quite well. And we keep adding on to it, so there is no end. And I want to give you an example. Maybe not all of you have the list, but Himaji has them and can send them to you. She has shared them in the WhatsApp group. Please print them out. And if you go to the first page, there are a few words there. Pradipam is a lamp. Vriksha is a tree. And as we practiced last time already, if you want to say on the tree, you say vrikshe. And if you want to say from the tree, you say vrikshat. Another word on your list is jalam, which means water. If you want to say in the water, you say jale. If you want to say from the water, you say jalat. Another word here is megha, which means cloud. If you want to say in the cloud, you say meghe. If you want to say from the cloud, meghat. Meghat, jalam, patati, means from the cloud, water falls. And then another word here is indrayudham, which means rainbow. Literally, it means the weapon or the bow of Indra. Indra is the god of the sky, the god of rains and the sky. He's also the king of the gods, so his bow is the rainbow. And now, don't worry, I'm not going to go through all the words, but I've just covered these now. Megha means the cloud. Indrayudham means rainbow. How would you say there's a rainbow in the cloud? Could someone unmute yourself?
Nake Indrayudha asti.
Nake
Indrayudha asti.
Indrayudham asti. But Nake would be in the sky. How would you say in the cloud, ma'am?
Meghe Indrayudha.
Exactly. Meghe Indrayudham asti. Very good.
Dham asti.
Indrayudham. Yes. Very good. So in this way, you have all these words and you can play with them. You see, I want to give you the responsibility of playing with these words. For instance, another word we have on the list is darpanam. Darpanam means mirror. And another word we have is mukham. Mukham means the face. And if you want to say the face is in the mirror, you will say, can someone unmute yourself? Darpanam is the mirror. Mukham is the face.
Asti. Darpanam mukhe asti.
No, that means the mirror is in the face, ma'am.
Oh.
That's not a good idea. That's not. So, other way around.
Mukhe darpanam asti.
No, again, madam, that means that means the mirror is in your face.
Once again.
Darpane mukham asti.
Darpane mukhe asti.
No, mukham asti.
Darpane mukham asti.
Yes. So, because darpane means in the mirror. All right. And mukham is the face. And if you say it the other way around, then it means the mirror is in your face. So you have to get it the right way around. And in this way, if I have a knife or scissors, that is kartari in Sanskrit, kartari. And hasta is the hand. And if someone would like to try, unmute yourself. If I want to say there is a knife in the hand.
Kartari haste asti.
Excellent. Kartari haste asti. Wonderful. So in this way, you can use this word list. Now we will try something else. There is the word kutiram is also in this list. Kutiram can mean a room, but it can also mean a little hut or almost a little house. So, if I want to say that sarpa means snake, and kutiram is a house or a little hut, if I want to say a snake is moving or is going from the house, from the little hut, then what will I say? Sarpah kutirat gacchati. Gacchati means to move or to go. Similarly, in this list, you have the word shirsham, and shirsham means the head. If I want to say there is a mouse on the head, I will say, can someone try? Mushah means mouse, shirsham means head. Shirshe asti. But now if I want to say, so if I realize that there is a mouse on my head, and I want to, and I go like this, and I shake my head, and the mouse falls away from my head. How do I say that? Mushakah shirshat patati. It falls from the head. So, all of you, I think, have understood this. Now, on my arm, or on my hand, I can say this is my hand, there is a sutram, right? There is a thread. So I will say, haste Sutram asti. And if I put food in my mouth, then it is mukhe annam asti. Have you understood the principle? You can use all these words to make so many expressions. So, for instance, if the friend of mine who says that he is greedy, if they get very lucky and gold falls from the sky, nakam is the sky, or svarga, nakam, and suddenly if gold is falling from the sky, how will we say that? Could you try? Not the greedy one. Anyone else? Could you try?
Swarnaha nakat patati.
Suvarnam. Careful.
Suvarnam
You have to get the
Swarnam.
Suvarnam nakat patati. Yes? So now you have understood this principle. All these words, you can make so many little sentences. Now there is another list I sent through Himaji where you have other verbs, action words with which you can practice. Now you know gacchati, you know asti, and you know patati. But there are many other words, and I've sent them to you. I will just tell you the ones we have here. Vadati means to speak. Kridati means to play. Jvalati means to burn. Dhavati means to run. Nrityati means to dance. Khadati means to eat. Ichchati means to wish. Pibati means to drink. Karoti, to do. Pashyati, to see. Hasati, to laugh. And dadati, to give. And you can play around with this now. For instance, I told you jvalati means to burn. If I want to say that, let us say I have eaten a very hot chili, and now mukham also means mouth. My mouth is burning. What will I say? Anyone?
Mukham jalat.
Mukham jvalati. Mukham jvalati. Ushnam, ushnam. It is hot. This is all in your list. Ushnam, ushnam. Mukham jvalati. Similarly, if I want to say that the children, or the boy, let us stay with one boy, the boy is laughing. Hasati means to laugh, and boy is bala. Then, logically, the boy is laughing is? Anyone?
Balaha hasat.
Hasati, exactly. So this is how you practice all these verbs. And you can do this at home. You can print out the document. You can put it on your fridge. Or, in your bed, if you lie down, if you have a ceiling that is not too high, you can stick this on the ceiling. So if you like to, when you wake up, the first thing you see is your Sanskrit verb list and also the words. But bhavati, jvalati is always someone else, he or she. What if you want to say, I am falling? Then you just say, patami. I am going, you say, gacchami. I am burning, jvalami. Better not, but supposing it happens, if one of you accidentally puts yourself on fire, then you have to know in Sanskrit how to say that. Jvalami, I am burning. Hasami, I am laughing. Pashyami, I am seeing. It's very easy to remember. The ending ti means someone else, and the ending mi is if it is you yourself, I. And similarly, if you want to say you are doing something, you have the ending si. I'm going very fast, so that you can practice all this at home. And I've sent this to you in the list. So if you want to say, you are going, gacchasi, it means you are going. If you want to say, you're burning. So for example, if one of you sees that your friend is burning, you can say, Hey Mitra, jvalasi, you're burning. All right? Kridasi, you're playing. Ichhasi, you wish. In your list, you also have the word kim. Kim means what? Kim ichhasi. What do you want? Then you can say, I want madhupanam. Madhupanam is a sweet drink. Madhupanam ichhami. Yes? Or, perhaps the more spiritual among you, kim ichhasi, you might respond with, devam ichhami. Or maybe someone else wants to have an elephant. Then you can say, gajam ichhami. All right? So you can practice with all these words that I have sent you, and you can make sentences.
Acharya, you just said Devam Ichhami, right?
Yes.
So Devam Ichhami means he's wishing for God.
Yes. Yes. I wish God. I want God.
I want God. Okay.
And so now let us practice. You have all these verbs now. So I will tell you only the English. How would you say, madam, I want water? Supposing you are in the desert or accidentally you have gone through, some experience and you are in the desert and you're very thirsty.
Jalam Ichhami.
Aham jalam ichhami. Very good. And then, what if Indra, the god of rain, is very happy with you and lets water fall from the clouds? From the cloud, what will you say?
Jale Meghat Patati.
No, not jale, but...
Jalam Meghat Patati.
Exactly, jalam meghat patati, that there is water falling from the cloud. Very good, thank you. And supposing the greedy one among you wants to say, I want gold. What will you say?
Swarnam.
Suvarnam ichhami.
Ichhami.
Excellent.
Swarnam.
Suvarnam ichhami. And Amar always wants a snake. He's trying to convince us to buy him a snake. And of course, we won't do that because that's a little difficult to maintain. But if someone says, I want a snake, how will you say that?
Sarpe gacchami. Aham sarpe gacchami.
Oh no, that means I am going into a snake. That's not a good idea, madam. Aham sarpe gacchami means I'm going into a snake.
Sarpe ichhami.
Sarpam
Ichhami.
ichhami. Very good.
Sarpam ichhami.
Yes. Sarpam ichhami. Excellent. And supposing that you see your own face in the mirror. Now the verb for seeing is pashyati. And I won't tell you now, pashyati is he or she sees. But you have to say, I see the face in the mirror. Anyone?
Aham Darpane Mukham Pashyami.
Great. Aham darpane mukham pashyami. Wonderful. See, you're all speaking Sanskrit. So now we can we can pray to the gods that they transport us back in time, and then we can practice with the ancient forefathers. Wonderful. And if you want to say that the girl is playing in the little hut or in the home, so kutiram, how will you say that? The girl is playing in the house or in the hut.
Balika kutire kridati.
Excellent. Balika or bala as well. Kutire
Bala.
kridati. Excellent.
Bala kutire
Kridati.
kridati.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. And supposing some evil person puts the house on fire, the little hut. How will you say that the little hut is burning? Anyone?
Kutire jwalanti.
Not kutire,
Jalati.
not kutire, kutiram.
Kutiram jalanti.
Jvalati. Yes.
Jvalati.
Excellent. So I think you have understood the basic principle of how to use these two lists that I have sent you. And don't worry, we are always going to keep repeating these, and we will expand them to more and more and more, so that in the end, you have a lot of vocabulary, you have a lot of words. Those of you who felt that we have gone a little fast, all we have done is explained in the beginning of the list. Is all that I have said now is right there. You just need to look at it, read it, and practice playfully. So we will spend the last 15 minutes with me explaining your names. And because some of you in the beginning, if you remember, you requested me to explain your names, and I created the YouTube videos, but it is perhaps more easy to do it in person. So would anyone like to know the meaning of their name?
Before that, may I have a question?
Yes, of course, please.
Regarding the verbs.
Yes.
So, pibati, to drink. I like when listening to something, I was listening pibare.
Pibber,
What
yes.
does it mean?
Yes.
I mean, like, is it the past tense or something?
No,
I mean,
no,
I'm not
no.
skipping the steps. I just wanted to understand.
No,
the
it is
word.
not the past tense. It is called the prerana, the imperative. Pibba means drink.
Oh, okay.
And it is very easy to create that form. You just leave away the ti from the verb. So instead of saying gacchati, you say gaccha. Gaccha means go.
Okay.
Vada, speak. Pibba, drink. Harer nama pibba, something like that, right? It's probably a bhajan.
Yeah, it's a bhajan. Pibare Rama Rasam.
Rama rasam, not Hari, but Rama. So rasa means, you tell me, what is Rama rasam pibba?
Rama Rasam, I understood like the essence of Rama.
The nectar. Rasam means
The
nectar.
nectar
In this case. The nectar of Rama, and pibba means drink. So Rama rasam pibba means
Drink the nectar
of Rama. Exactly, madam. Very good. And excellent that you are applying it to things you know already. Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand it before exactly what it means. But
Now you understand
today
it.
when I saw the verb, I got the essence.
Very good. Excellent. Good.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions, or would someone like to know the meaning of their name? You can also post it into the chat.
Namaste Vidya Bhaskarji, this is Aarti.
Yes.
Could I know the meaning of my name, please?
So my theory is that your name is an abbreviation of Artikyam. And Artikyam is the Arati in Hindi that we place before the deities in a circular motion. So we swing the light in a circular motion. And the background is that, not many people know this, the background is that in ancient Indian temples, these were always quite dark. And after doing the Abhisheka means pouring water and milk and other sacred substances over the murtis, the statues. And then after washing the statues and after dressing them beautifully, people would wish to see the statues. You see, the participants, which is why after the puja was finished, then the priest would take a huge artikyam. He would take a huge arti and he would swing it in front of the murti to show the murti to the viewers. You understand? So in this sense, Artiji, your name means illuminating the deity. Yes, but you can also take it internally, that in the sense of that to illumine our own true nature, we apply the mind's attention and awareness. So the same way that an outer priest is swinging the artikyam in front of the deity, similarly, internally, when we place the mind's attention upon itself, upon our true being, we then illuminate our true being. Every Sanskrit word has these outer meanings and these inner meanings. All right? Then someone says, what is the meaning of the word daksha? Daksha means clever, wise. It is a synonym of kushala. Kushala means intelligent. It is also the name of Devi's father in one of her previous incarnations as Sati. Her father's name was Daksha. That is why one of the names of Devi is Dakshayani, the daughter of Daksha. So, but Daksha essentially means wise and intelligent. So, Dakshaji, it means that from now on, you have to go through your life with great intelligence, which of course I assume you have always done already. And then someone asked, what is the meaning of Shri Krishna? Krishna has many, many, many meanings. One of the primary ones is the attractor, he who attracts. So Krishna is so beautiful that by simply looking at his form or by simply remembering him, our mind is attracted. Darshati iti Krishna. That is one of the primary meanings. And then someone says, what is the meaning of Lokesha? There is a sandhi there. Can I ask first, one of you, or even Lokeshji yourself, what is the sandhi? Because we learnt it.
Loka, Isha.
Loka and Isha, excellent. Loka is the world, or it can also be plural, lokaha, many worlds. Isha is the Lord. Lokasya Ishaha, Lokeshaha, the Lord of the world. It is a synonym of any deity. Lokesha can be Lord Krishna, it can be Shiva, it can be Devi. Well, that would, as Devi, it would be Lokeshi or Lokeshwari. Yes. So another person asks the meaning of Rajeshri. This would be Rajashri in Sanskrit or Rajyashri. Rajeshri does not exist in this form in Sanskrit. So I assume it would be Rajashri. And Rajashri is the splendor of the king or the Lord again. Shri means light, splendor, beauty. Lakshmi, it is a synonym of Lakshmi, fortune. And Raja is the king, the ruler. Raja Shri is the splendor or beauty of the ruler. It is a synonym of Lakshmi, actually. Your name is a synonym of Lakshmi. Rajya Lakshmi, the Lakshmi of the kings, the splendor of the kings. So it means that you are like a queen. It means that Rajashri, wherever you go, you bring royalty with you. It means that the luxury of your presence is like that of a queen. So everyone should roll out the red carpet when you come, and they should bow a little bit to you like they do to Queen Elizabeth. And then someone asks the meaning of Shivani. Shivani is simply the feminine form of Shiva. So it is a name of Parvati. Shivam Shivani, Bhavam Bhavani. So you might know the famous verse, Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. I bow down to Bhava together with Bhavani. So in the same way, you have Shiva and Shivani. It is the female energy of Shiva. Parvati is not just the wife or the spouse. She is the female equivalent. Whereas Shiva is infinite silence, Shivani is infinite energy, infinite activity, always creating something beautiful, always creating an infinite world from nothing. That is Shivani. Very literally also means auspicious, happy. And I just found an excellent meaning of the word Shiva in the Kalika Purana, and therefore also Shivani, in the Kalika Purana, that when Shiva and Parvati got married, you see, Shiva, he always looks very fierce. He has all these jatas, these matted locks, which I would like to have, but I can't anymore. So he has these matted locks, and his body is covered in ashes, and he wears a lion skin, or tiger skin rather. He wears a tiger skin, and he has eight snakes moving all over his body. So he looks really fierce. And the gods and the siddhas and the yogis were a little worried that when Shiva will come to marry Parvati, when he will come for the marriage, there will be a reoccurrence of what happened the first time when he came. If you remember the story, when Shiva came to marry Sati, Daksha, her father, was shocked by his appearance. So the sages, the second time, when Shiva came to marry Parvati, who was this time the daughter of the Himalaya, the sages were worried that, oh dear, we might have a reoccurrence of the last drama. And as Shiva was arriving, he was so full of joy because Parvati had done so much tapasya for the benefit of all the worlds. This is what the text says. It's very beautiful. She didn't do it only for her own benefit. She did it for the whole world, that Shiva was so overjoyed that Shiva transformed himself. And I just translated this text. I will send it to you once it is in the form of a beautiful booklet. That Shiva transformed himself. That his matted locks turned into locky hairs, locks, into kesha. You know, that he had locks. His blue, dark blue form became a white form, Gauravarna. He turned into a white form. The snakes on his body suddenly turned into ornaments of gold. Very beautiful. And this was the best part. His tiger skin turned into a garment of rainbow colors. Have you ever heard that? Also in the dancing world, I don't think you ever heard that. That his wedding dress was rainbow colors. Nobody, all the dancers among you, I know that many of you are in the Bharatanatyam or Odissi traditions. I'm sure you haven't heard this one. So you can incorporate that. This is from the Kalika Purana, that Shiva, he transformed for his wedding. And then Brahma makes a praise when seeing that all the gods, they shower flowers upon them. So there is Shiva and Shivani together, and they are about to get married. And then Brahma, he creates a praise, and he says that because this form of the Lord has given so much joy to all the worlds, this transformed form of Rudra has given so much joy to all of us. Henceforth, he shall be called Shiva, and she will be called Shivani. That henceforth, because Shiva means joy, the bringer of joy, and Shivani is she who brings joy, that henceforth they shall be known as Shiva. So this is one of the most beautiful explanations of Shiva and Shivani from the Kalika Purana. And don't worry, the others, Hasmitaji, Trusharji, I will also explain your names. And as always, don't worry, also the greedy ones among you, I'm always joking, please don't mind. Let us finish here, but on a serious note, practice the verbs and the vocabulary. You know how to practice now, yes? Jale, in the water. Meghat, from the cloud. You can practice with so many words now. You can create your own sentences. As a homework, can I suggest you, please create 3 new sentences with all the words that I sent you. All right? And then send them to maybe to the WhatsApp group, or you can share them next time as you like. Please become active. Create your own sentences and share them with the others. And every day, learn new words. Sanskrit is so precious to learn, all right? And we will see you again, I believe, in 2 weeks. Use all these words. Don't be scared of Sanskrit. Be courageous and learn it so well that one day we can transport you back in time and you can speak to the ancients, the great sages of old. Hari Om, and enjoy your Sunday.
Can I ask a quick question?
Please,
on the
please.
topic which you mentioned about the Shiva. You mentioned about the Shiva having 8 snakes on his body.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, that's very interesting, because I just knew that only he had one snake around his neck, which
Yes.
is the Nagaraj Vasuki, the story of the Manthan and everything.
Yes, correct.
I was always wondering, why did he take up the snake and put it around his neck? I mean, is it just to tie his throat for the poison not to go down, or what's the story behind it?
This is, of course, too long, but I'll just give you the names of the 8 snakes. So it's Vasuki, Padma, Karkotaka, Takshaka, Mahapadma, Shankhapala, Kulika, and Shesha. These are the 8 snakes. But it'll take a little too much time to explain the story aspect, but also the symbolism of it.
Okay.
But let me make a note and I will tell you next time, all right?
Okay, all right. Or is it possible if you can make a YouTube video and...
Okay, all right. The 8 snakes, all right. I'll do that.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hari Om, everybody.
Thank you, Acharya.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for everything.
Welcome. Namaste, everyone. Hari Om.